Greetings, everybody. Gleekon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. On our last episode, we covered really a lot. We covered a lot of what's going on with Arthas attacking Quel'Thalas, going, and he ultimately ended up taking out Sylvanas, which caused me to expand some research here. And before we jump back into Warcraft 3, we've actually got a lot of lore coming up that covers that period. In the short term, we have a 4-issue comic run called World of Warcraft Ashbringer. The Legend Begins. This is our first, we've done a couple manga, but this is our first official comic that we're going to read. We'll read all 4 of these in a row. It happens right about now and covers this period. I'm guessing it covers someone that we don't quite know. So to get this in digital form was, sometimes you can find certain ones in digital form, sometimes not. I had a hard time finding this one, so I did have to go to a bootleg website that I use sometimes if I want to get quick access to comics. It's a good website. The only downside is it is in all too common bootleg website fashion. It is just plagued with like inappropriate ads and obtrusive clicking pop-up ads. So I'm going to try to click off those as soon as I can. But I don't want it to infect any malware on my computer or any type of, it's just a bad scene. But I think I closed out the most of them, so we should hopefully be able to get through most of this issue without any problems. All right, so stay a while. Let's see, there you go. We had a pop up, and then Xing it out takes you to that. So cheeky little pop up there. All right. So yeah, stay a while and listen to issue 1 of the Warcraft Ashbringer series. Nielsen Lullaby in Washington, and this is a Wildstorm comic. That's a popular brand, or like publishing company for comics. All right, here we go. Azeroth, a land of conflict in a time of war. The second war between orcs and humans. So this is actually in the past. We could have read this a lot earlier if it's taking us back that far. It has been a long and bloody campaign, and now the war's most pivotal battle is about to begin. My lord. Status report, sir. Supply lines have been restored. And what of the ballistae? Arriving presently. Good. The fortress of Blackrock Spire will not fall easily. The siege is sure to be a long and difficult one. But worth it to put these orcish dogs out of their misery. High Lord Morgraine, Doomhammer's forces have attacked and overrun forward positions. Commander Lothar and Lord Uther are engaged as we speak. So I'm guessing this is Loghain, so this is cool. This is going to be maybe Loghain's story. We had Thessarians, and we're getting another very famous Death Knight. Well, Abendis, it seems our dogs still have teeth. Ready yourselves, men. If it is blood these green-skinned heathens crave, then blood they shall have. Come, you knights, raise hammers, bear steel. We fight to the end. We die if we must. For Lordaeron, for the king! Death is Contagious is the name of this particular episode or issue. Attack! So this is cool. This is that big war. And we've got some people. Alichi Nielsen. And then we've got some of these other people. I'm not going to read all their names. Horde forces have circled to the west. We must act quickly or risk being outflanked. We ride, men. Uphold the western flank at all costs. Got a big ogre there in his loincloth. Huh? Boom. You grow careless in your old age, Alexandros. I won't always be around to watch your back. I would have felled the brute soon enough, brother Tyrion. You've gone and ruined my sport. You're welcome. So we have Tyrion and Alexandros Loghain. So that's cool. They're both famous
Sharak Zahangerol, by the light, the wound. You up there, target the warlock. The rest of you fall back. Do not engage.
So this is where they collapse and close the dark portal.
Enemy sighted, sire. Let fly. Cut that motherless greenskin down. Zakul. Shat. Never before have I beheld an artifact of such power. Only it can be commanded by the light.
So I think those are those bombs that we read about in those books.
What army could stand against it? Surely, in the right hands. Yeah! What madness is this? My healing powers have no effect. Nor mine, Lord. A foul omen indeed. Whatever the object may be, 'tis surely an instrument of evil, and as such, is undoubtedly better left alone.
So then we have a dwarven priest. That's cool. That's the first time in all of our lore that we've seen that, and that's just showing that they exist. The Second War ended with the defeat of the Orcish horde. In the years that followed, for a brief time, there was peace, but in a world shaped by war, peace never lasts long.
Come on, touch it. What are you, scared? I don't want to touch it. You touch it. How many times have I told you? How often must I repeat myself? Ow, hey! I've said it 100 times. Don't sneak into my room. Don't touch my things, but above all, I've told you never to open the lockbox. It was Renault's idea. You little cockroach. Quiet, Renault. I'm disappointed in you most of all. What a fine example you set for your younger brother. The orb of all things. Haven't I always told you to protect Darien, to look out for him? Both of you. To your rooms, now. Oh, how they like to test me sometimes. Still, my love, you would be proud of him.
Here lies Elena Mograine, beloved wife and mother, so his wife is dead.
Shocked at how much they've grown. Renault reminds me of myself in many ways. Brash, headstrong, aggressive. Darien is more like you. He has your quiet strength. I can see it in him even now. I wish you could have known him. I miss you, Eleanor. Oh, with every passing day. I miss your unshakable faith. It's the light that danced in your eyes. I pray with all my heart that you found eternal peace.
Am I interrupting, sir?
Just tending the garden, Fairbanks. How does the day find you?
So, the human frame was not meant to straddle a giant beast for extended periods of time. Why would a knight say that?
Yes, I've heard the 2-mile journey from capital city can be a grueling one. What news?
Grim developments among the northern provinces. Sickness, disease, death, some manner of unnatural plague. Those who perished from it returned shortly after to visit ruin upon the living. These undead are called the Scourge. Lord Uther himself is aiding Prince Arthur and Lady Jane of Proudmoore in efforts to quell it. So far they have met with no success. As your advisor, I recommend that we prepare to intercede if necessary.
Sir, there's something that's been on my mind. A discussion I've been meaning to have for quite some time. Perhaps that time is now.
Old Hillsbrad, South Shore Inn, days later.
Recent reports paint a gruesome portrait. The ranks of the Scourge continue to grow, adding to their numbers with each and every kill.
You've always been something of an alarmist, Fairbanks. Oh, that's Fairbanks again, my bad.
This is not a matter to be taken lightly, Bendis.
Oh, Bendis, that's another famous person.
It is up to the Knights of the Silver Hand to do all within our power to eradicate this new threat. It is why I called you here, my brothers.
And you would have us believe this artifact of yours presents a solution? I must confess my astonishment that you've kept it all this time, Alexandros, especially considering what it did to you.
The artifact is indeed a relic beyond understanding, Brother Doan. It is a living embodiment of shadow, a void. But I've always believed that the possibility exists to forge it into a weapon of righteousness. After all, can good exist without evil? Can there be light without dark? They're two sides of the same coin, gentlemen. A weapon of righteousness. This is nonsense. It is an instrument of wickedness and therefore must be destroyed. If you refuse to carry out that task, Morgraine, then I will. It consumed the light, did I not tell you? Did you see that? How could Father not have allowed me to sit on this meeting? Does my opinion count for nothing? Why will no one listen to me? Shut up, I can't hear. I maintain that the orb may be used for good. It has begun to glow. Perhaps there is something to this after all, Alexandros. At the very least, it is worth further exploration. Join me, brothers, in an experiment. Its coloration. It is changing. I can feel its power, but different from before. Something has changed. Could it be? Could this be it? I must know. I will know. Your hand. It is healed. What I felt when I touched it. The light coursed through me as never before, and I through it. It healed much more than my hand. It healed my spirit. So it will be. From this blessed crystal we will forge a weapon. A weapon to cast down the undead. We may have need for just such a weapon, Alexandros. Lord Commander Dathrahan! Events surrounding the plague continue to spiral out of control. Mere days ago, Prince Arthur sought to contain the plague by killing infected villagers in Stratholme before they could perish from the sickness. Men, women, and children, he slaughtered them all. And look at all his red, so I think that, I don't remember who and what are part of the Scarlet Crusade, but I wonder if this is also an origin story of the Scarlet Crusade. And when Uther tried to stop him, Arthas accused our brother of treason and suspended the paladins from service. Outrageous! He does not have the power to take such action. We must speak with Arthas immediately. The princes left, reportedly sailing for the frozen continent of Northrend. Then what are we to do? Officially, we are to do nothing. We must wait while Uther seeks counsel with King Taranis. Unofficially, we will explore all available options to wipe out the scourge entirely. Alexandros, should this plague continue to spread, who would be capable of forging this orb into a useful weapon? Cosmodon. Perhaps a rest is in order, my lord. Your frequent resting, coupled with this harsh winter, has added several days to an already lengthy journey. If we tarry much longer, the plague will circle the known kingdoms twice before we return. If I may be so bold, General Abendis expressed apprehension regarding our quest. He voiced particular concern over your trusting of the dwarves. I've noted a growing faction within our Order of Fairbanks, one led largely by Abendis himself, a faction intolerant of what they deem to be the lesser races. It disturbs me, old friend. It is not befitting a paladin to treat others unjustly based on their heritage. I can assure you our dwarven friends have no nefarious intentions. They care little for the affairs of men. They would much rather explore their own history, and when it comes to masonry and engineering, none are better at delving into the bowels of the earth and shaping it to their purpose. That's cool, that's Ironforge. They are masterful, sir. I'll give them that. Much. Oh, my Ironforge is truly a marvel to behold. Who goes there? Please inform the good King Magni that Alexandros Morgraine and his trusted advisor seek an audience. Well now, 'tis your lucky day. His Majesty only just returned. Tread lightly, though. His mood is sullen. Later within the halls of Ironforge. I am familiar with this scourge. Have you not heard the latest news from Lordaeron? Before setting out, we learned that King Taranis recalled Arthas from Northrend, while the undead continued to rampage through our lands unchecked. My brothers finally agreed with me that a powerful weapon against the scourge is called for. Much has happened in recent days. My own brother Meriden was in Northland on an expedition with the Explorers League, and Arthur we're old friends, and it's because of that black-hearted fiend Arthur that my brother is now dead. Dead? We had no idea. You have our deepest condolences, Your Majesty. Condolences won't bring back my brother, but crafting a blade with the express purpose of killing those undead bastards, well, that feels like a bit like spitting in Arthur's eye, and that might just ease the pain some. It'll take time, lads, but I'll forge you a weapon, one the likes of which you've never seen before, and won't be likely to again.
There are those who believe that Master Dwarven blacksmiths possess the ability to impart emotions into the blades they shape. Magni Bronzebeard never took much stock in the claims. Nevertheless, as he stands now holding the orb, thinking of the brother he will never see again, Magni harnesses all of his rage, his fury, his desire for vengeance. He calls upon them, wills them into being. He bellows a war cry that echoes in the vastness of the great forge, and he brings the hammer down. Shakum! Again and again and again. Time passes. Magni toils, Alexandros and Fairbanks wait for what seems an eternity until 'tis done. Look at that, that's cool. That must be the Ashbringer weapon. A finer blade has never been crafted by my hand, and I hope it does not come too late. A griffin rider brought word to me only moments ago. King Taranis is dead, lads, killed by Arthur's own hand. You have my condolences, and though they won't bring back your king, perhaps his blade will administer some justice, return some semblance of order to the turmoil that grips your kingdom. Taranis was a good man, wise and just. Know that the dwarves' Ironforge will mourn his passing. Taranis dead? Madness! I can't by the light. Will there be nothing for us to return home to? I'm a simple dwarf myself, but if I were you lads, I'd see to me home and family. The war will keep. Family, yes, we must make haste. Thank you, good king. You may rest assured I will make good use of this. I will honour Muradin's memory. Several days later. Help me, Fairbanks. If anything has happened to my boys, no power in this world will contain my rage. Darian, Renault, where? Hearthglen, my lord. They wrote, I see they scratched out Hearthglen with a dagger. Step aside, Fairbanks. I will handle this. In an instant, the battle is joined. And just as swiftly, it is finished. He uses Ashbringer and cutting him right in half. This blade, Fairbanks, it feels as much a part of me as the blood that runs through my veins. It is purely, truly an instrument of destruction, a beautifully lethal creation that leaves nothing but charred bone in its wake. I will carry it. I will call it the Ashbringer. Hearthglen. Why are we still discussing this? To me the answer is clear. Chop off its head and the serpent will die. We should hunt down and kill Arthas. The plague will continue to spread whether Arthas is alive or not. The northern provinces have now become plague lands. The cities overrun by the scourge are being used by the undead to propagate this epidemic. Stratholm and Underhall are among the worst. We should focus our attentions there. And just let Arthas get away with murder? Nonsense. Does the death of Taranis mean nothing? What about Uther? Have you all forgotten so soon? My daughter can be headstrong, my lord. You must excuse her. Lord Commander Dathrahan is right, my child. We must see to the most immediate threat. I too concur that we must focus on containing this plague. Then let's stop talking and set to it. Father! I got your message, boys. Well done. You don't know how relieved I am to see the two of you safe. Talon Faldring offered his lands for a sanctuary. I served in the Second War with your father, Talon. No matter how things may... Oh, that's Talon when we read that book. When Tyrion... So this is his son. So this is a little bit later because his son who becomes a paladin at the end of all that. So this is that of Blood and Honor son that we read at the end.
No matter how things may have turned out, the Tyrion I knew was a good man. Now, where are the rest of the knights? Surely this is not all that's left of the Order of the Silver Hand. It is so. Many of our paladins are dead. Lord Uther himself has fallen at the hands of Arthas. First Tyrannus, now Uther. Light preserve us. Disease and death have laid claim to our lands, and the undead have shown no signs of faltering. Take heart, Lord Commander. Hope remains, Rakon bearing a weapon of war unlike any other. The scourge has taken much from us. There is no denying that, but now, my brothers, the time has come to start taking back.
For a time, the fate of Azeroth once again teetered on the brink of oblivion, even as orcs and humans set aside their differences long enough to face off against the demonic Burning Legion in the Third War. The races of the world secured a hard-won victory despite overwhelming odds. And so it is that in the war's aftermath, like a raging inferno ignited from a single spark, the knights of the once proud Order of the Silver Hand exact a furious retribution across the Plague Lands. And riding foremost among them is Alexandros Mograine, Vanquisher, Crusader, Deliverer, Scourge of the Scourge, the Ashbringer. Quickly his deeds become tales, and soon thereafter the tales of the man and his blade become legend. There it is, Stratholme. This is sure to be our greatest challenge yet. It is unnatural that these fires should still be burning. Dark forces are at work. Bendis is right, Darian. This could be unlike anything we have yet faced. I would not think less of you for turning away. I told you I could sit idle no longer, father. Not a boy anymore. Your mind is set then. It is. So be it. Renault, you are to watch your brother at all times. Protect him. I'm understood. Yes, father. Oh, okay, so now we've even time flash forward further still. Within the burning city, the sweltering heat is accompanied by the occasional gunshot crack of burning wood, setting already tense nerves further on edge. Why do I suddenly feel like a rat in a maze? Oh, Talon says that. Why do I suddenly feel like a rat in a maze? Hush, Talon. Be ready for anything. Shclang. Rats indeed! The trap is sprung behind us! So this is like the Stratholme instance. Close ranks, form a phalanx, and we'll... Move! We are cut off from the others. Alexandros, Abendis, light blast you. Horrors, I can see nothing through this cursed mob. Ha! A brief respite at last. What? Sleep. You knights, clear me a path through the rubble. Damn your eyes, we must find another way out quickly. Darian, look out! Yeah! Darian! Back to the abyss with you! Who you are Legion. This is Mal'Ganis resurrected. My kind are called Nathrezim, Dreadlords in your tongue. Perhaps Thalkatun would be more fitting. It means unseen guest in our language. Fitting because I have existed here between the world of the living and the dead, awaiting a moment such as this, under the very noses of the scourge without their slightest suspicion. You are an agent of shadow, and that is all I need to know. Make your peace, demon! You are out of your league, paladin. Know that I am Balnazar. Okay, so it's not what's his name, it's him. Know as I drink your life that I will take up residence in this weak shell your soul once called home. Know that I will corrupt and destroy everything and everyone you have ever loved.
Crash! A path is cleared! Fly! As if the Legion itself were at your heels.
So, Dathrahand, that's how he goes down the dark side. He's corrupted and possessed by a Nathrezim now. So, when he's one of the original paladins, the original 5, and I was wondering, I was like, they make him look evil and possibly start the Scarlet Crusade. That would be huge if that explains it all. That's why the Scarlet Crusade is so evil and messed up, because it's really being run by a Nathrezim.
Last another gate. Barred! Make way! Lord Commander, like me praise, I've begun to feel the worst.
No need to worry about me, Alexandros. I'm an old hand at beating the odds.
Yes, Darian, is he?
No time. Get to that gate.
Splish!
With pleasure. Can't tell who's talking some of the times. That night,
I fear that the sorcery run deep, brother, deeper than our abilities to heal. To heal it, only his faith can carry him through now. What did I tell you, boy? I told you to protect him. How could you let this happen? How?
It's a miracle any of us walked away. A miracle indeed. Come, Renault, let your father calm down.
Renault was in danger too, you know. You think I show favoritism? I did not mean any disrespect, Lord. I'll favour you with a story, Talon. The night Darian was born, he was born still. He made no movement, made no sound. In a panic, I rushed out to the stream that courses near our home. I plunged Darian into the icy waters, and to my astonishment, to my delight, he began flailing, and then he cried out, the most exquisite sound I have ever heard. I ran back into the house to inform Eleanor that our son had survived, only to find that she had not. When I look into Darian's eyes, I see my wife. Losing him would be like losing her all over again, and that is a thought I cannot bear. As long as Darian lives, a part of Eleanor lives as well. Perhaps it is unfair of me, but that is how I feel.
It is unfair of you, dude. You have another son. Mourning.
Darian! It was black as pitch all around me. I thought I might not make it out, but I followed the light, Father. It led me. It's over now. You're safe. I love you, son, with all that I am, all I was, all I ever will be.
Days later, Hearthglen.
I tell you, our numbers are too few. We must look to recruiting. Among the night elves, dwarves, and gnomes, we're to retake our fallen cities. It is not for the lesser races to meddle in the affairs of men, Maxwell. I agree. They are not to be trusted. I think Lord Tyrosus is right. What right do we have to judge the other races? It is our light-given right to do so, brother. Now be silent. I don't take orders from you. Enough. If the other races offer their help, we should accept it, but for now we will do our best to handle our own problems. We have not considered the city of Tyr's Hand to the northeast. It is a city of churches that has managed to hold out against the scourge. Last I heard, their faithful citizens would make for strong allies. There is also the matter of these free-willed undead who are rumoured to amass at the ruins of Capital City. They're led by a fallen elf ranger called Sylvanus Windrunner. Free-willed or not, they must be destroyed like all other undead. Here! We will confer with the good people of Tyr's Hand. We will raise an army and we will wipe out these free-willed undead. They're not a threat now, but we cannot allow them to become one. Not in our own backyard.
That night in the chambers of Lord Commander Dathrahand, Alexandros intends to attack the Forsaken. The High Lord must not be allowed to interfere. He is strong-willed, a man of deep faith, incorruptible. What of those closest to him? The youngest son displays the same conviction as his father. The oldest, however, possesses a darker turn of soul. Good. Win him to our cause.
Eliminate the threat Alexandros poses without revealing your hand. Lady Sylvanas thinks to have me under her thumb, and so it must be, for now. In time, she will learn that Veramathris is no one's pawn.
Oh, so he called himself Balnazar before. Now he's calling himself Veramathris.
The Legion shall devour all, dear brother, and the final gambit shall commence with the death of High Lord Alexandros Mograine.
All right, so I'm not sure. I wanted to read this entire 4-issue series. It obviously is the origin story of the Scarlet Crusade, so that's very cool. But it's also obviously much later where Sylvanas is already leading the Forsaken, and the Forsaken are a thing. So, yeah, see, intends to attack the Forsaken. Yeah, so we might not. I might, if it's not too much of a spoiler, I might go ahead and read it ahead anyway. I got to kind of flip through it, but we might have to pause there, and because it might be way too far ahead in the timeline. All right, cool. Anyway, we cut it. This episode is in the pipe 5x5, and a lot of that was appropriate to the timeline. So I hope you enjoyed this comic, despite all the pop-ups, and I will, look forward to seeing everybody next time on Lore of Warcraft.